I'm National ERISA Disability Attorney Nancy Cavey. Welcome to Wine and ERISA Law Wednesday. My two passions are representing ERISA disability policyholders and drinking wine. As Ben Franklin said, remember, in wine there's wisdom, in beer there's freedom, in water, bacteria. Every winery has a story and a lesson for ERISA policyholders. Let me tell you the story of Belglos. A wine's character is inseparable from its history. The story starts with the history of the Wagner family. In 1971, Charlie Wagner and his wife Lorna Belglos Wagner asked their son Chuck if he would be interested in joining them in starting up a winery. If Chuck declined the offer, they were going to sell out their ranch in Napa Valley and move to Australia. Chuck, who had just graduated from high school, accepted his parents' offer. They launched the famous winery, Caymus. Chuck had 3 children, Charlie, Joe, and Jenny. Now, Caymus, as you may know, produces highly sought-after Cabernet, but this is really the story of Joe Wagner, a 5th-generation winemaker. I happen to love big, bold cabs, but I've come to love big, bold Pinot Noirs. Joe ultimately left the family winery and established his own wine company under the brand Copper Cane Wines and Provisions. You may have heard of Meiomi. It's a great wine, and it was the basis of Joe's future and success. You can get a bottle of it at Costco for about $16. He now owns Napa Valley Quilt and Belglos. His grapes come from a patch of prime Napa Valley vineyards from 9 districts, the Sonoma Coast and Santa Maria and Santa Lucia Highlands in Santa Barbara County. Each of these vineyards have different soil, different exposure to foggy mornings and cool summer nights. Joe takes full advantage of each vineyard's character, the climate, be it the fog, the wind, or the sunlight, the soil type, and all of that will influence the rootstock and clone that's used to produce the grapes. It influences the trellis system, the irrigation, the pruning, and even the timing of the harvest. In my view, this is much like handling an ERISA case. Wine is not wine, and ERISA is just not an ERISA case. Decisions are made at every step of an application or an appeal that will influence the result. The choices and decisions create a unique appeal which has its own identity. Unfortunately, in my view, far too many ERISA attorneys treat an application or appeal of a denial the same. There is no attention to the terms of the policy, the medical records, the vocational evidence, the climate, or the terroir. Winemakers make choices about things like cold soaks or no soaks, which yeast to use, punch down versus pump over during fermentation, or the type of barrel. Unfortunately, ERISA attorneys fail to make decisions or choices about things like taking the statement of the treating physician, taking the statement of the policyholder, getting an IME, getting an FCE, hiring a vocational evaluator. There's no strategy, no theme, no evidence, no story, no good wine. I think that creating a strategy, developing a theme and evidence, and crafting and telling your story is the key. These are the choices I love to make, a job I'm proud to do. My all-time favorite wine is Belglos. It's a single vineyard Pinot Noir named, as I've said, for Joe's grandmother. She loved Pinot, and so do I. ERISA and wine are my passions. Let me bring my passions to your claim or appeal.